Hi dear students, how are you? And welcome to our channel Mr. Chemistry. Today we are going to discuss top 10 questions from coordination compounds, very important for board exam 2020-21. Okay, and now we will start with first question. See here, what is ambidentate ligand? Explain with a suitable example. Before starting the first question, first I will ask you one question. What is ligand? What is ligand? See here, ligand is nothing but a molecule or ion which is directly bonded with the central metal ion in a coordination compound is called ligand. It may be molecule, neutral molecule, or it may be ion. And see here ambidentate ligand in the sense the ligand has two sides, two possible sides are there. And see here, ambi in the sense both, means two here. Ambidentate ligand has two possible sides to bond with central metal ion. And here, ambidentate ligand is not going to bond with the central metal ion with both the sides. Okay, and see here, any one of the site will form bond with central metal ion. And once again check it, ambidentate ligand is a ligand which is bonded with a central metal ion with one or other site. Okay, bonded with one or other site. And suitable examples, NO2 minus, we will take NO2 minus. NO2 minus, see here, NO2 minus. See here, oxygen may act as the site of attachment, it forms bond with central metal ion. And see here, we know that nitrogen has a pair of lone pairs, means it can also bond with metal. See here, if M is taken as a central metal ion, here oxygen has bond with metal, and here nitrogen has bond with metal, means the same nitro group, NO2 minus. Okay, it forms bond with central metal ion with oxygen or with nitrogen. If it forms with oxygen, we call it as a nitro O. If it is with nitrogen, we call it as a nitro N. And I will give one more example here. Please check that one. SCN minus. SCN minus. See here, in case of SCN minus, if it has bond with sulfur, M is central metal atom or ion. If it has bond with sulfur, then we call it as thiocyanato. See here, if it has bond with nitrogen, then we call it as isothiocyanato. Okay, here it has two possible sites of bond formation. One is nitrogen, another one is sulfur. If it is sulfur, then it is a thiocyanato. And same thing, if site of bond formation changes from sulfur to nitrogen with a central metal ion or atom, then it is called isothiocyanato. And see here, these two are very important examples, and carbon monoxide is also there. And you focus on these two things and it is easy to answer in board exam. Okay, please note down and we will go to next question. The second one, See here, what is second one? What is meant by chelate effect? and chelate effect, and in few schools they will call it as a chelate effect. Anything will be fine, spelling is same. Okay, chelate effect. And see here what is meant by chelate effect. See here, bidentate or polydentate. Bidentate or polydentate. Just now we discussed ambidentate. Here dentate in the sense the site to which it has bond with the central metal ion. Okay, and see here ambidentate in the sense it has two sites. Any one site is used at one time. And here in case of bidentate and polydentate, bidentate has two sites and polydentate has more than two sites. Okay, here sites in the sense the atoms which is ready to donate electrons. Okay, donor atoms. See here bidentate or didentate, anything will be fine. Bidentate or didentate, both are same. And polydentate. See here chelate effect. Bidentate or polydentate ligands, they form ring structures with a central metal ion. Okay, and see here with one example I will explain this one. Bidentate, you take oxalate ligand. Oxalate ligand. See here oxalate ion is there. Oxalate ion, and it has two sides, that's why it is called bidentate. Now see here, if central metal ion or atom approaches to this one, then what will happen? The two sides will develop bond with this one. Okay, and see here as a result it forms a bond with central metal ion. See here one ring like structure is formed here. This effect is called chelate effect. Okay, chelate effect is nothing but binding of bidentate or polydentate ligands with the central metal ion or atom to form a ring like structure. And see here the ions which forms ring like structures with central metal ions in coordination compounds are called chelate ions. See here, this is one example, and I will give one more example for bidentate. Ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine. See here ethylene diamine is also called ethane 1,2 diamine. Means position of these amine groups are at first and second position. And see here CH2 NH2, two amine groups are present. See here the nitrogen has a lone pair here, and these two nitrogens acts as two sides. Okay, these two sides they develop bond with central metal ion. This is also one of the chelate ion, and this effect is chelate effect. Please note down this one. And see here polydentate. Next one is polydentate. For polydentate I will take EDTA ion. What is EDTA ion? EDTA. What is the full form of EDTA? Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Here we are going to use EDTA ion. EDTA ion in the sense ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Okay, acetate. Ion is acetate. See here two hydrogens are replaced with two acetate ions. Okay, what are two acetate ions here? Acetate ion is CH3COO minus. Okay, and see here it has one bond with nitrogen, that's why here I will write CH2C COO minus. COO minus. CH2 COO minus. And here also two hydrogens are replaced with CH2 COO minus. CH2 COO minus. See here, now check how many sites are there. This nitrogen with lone pair acts as one site, another nitrogen with lone pair acts as one site, 2, and here 3, 4, and here it is 5, it is 6. Total 6 possible sites are there. These 6 possible sites bind that central metal ion to form a chelate ring structure, and that effect is called chelate effect. Okay, and please learn this one, EDTA ion, EDTA ethylene diamine tetraacetate ion. Okay, please note down this one, and we will go to next one, that is third one. Third one is writing its IUPAC name. Okay, see here, and fourth one also writing its IUPAC name. Check this one, write the IUPAC name of the following complex. What is the complex here? Here one complex is there, and we know that coordination compounds, they have rectangular brackets, or you can say square brackets. And see here they given two complexes and they are asking to write their IUPAC name. Okay, before writing these things, first we will check what are the things present in it. Here there is a chromium. Chromium is there. Chromium is the central metal ion. And here chlorine is there. We call it as a chlorido. And five water molecules are there. We will write water molecules as aqua. 5 are there. We can write it as a penta. Okay, and here outside the bracket there is a chlorine. See here we have to follow alphabetic order. See here, aqua starts with A, chlorido starts with C. Okay, and see here how to write this one. First we have to start with aqua. Even though it is a penta, you have to consider the letter of aqua. Even though it is a penta, hexa, hepta, whatever it is, aqua, water molecule. Okay, it starts with A, aqua. And see here, we will arrange these things in alphabet order. Penta, aqua, chlorido, chromium, chloride. We will write this one as chloride because it's a part of complex chloride. Here how many chlorines are associated with chromium? 1, 2. 1 plus 2, 3 negative charges. Here water is neutral. 3 negative charges in the sense chromium is having oxidation state 3. And see here we will write its name as penta aqua chlorido chromium 3 chloride. Okay, we will write it penta aqua chlorido chromium. Here we have to show its oxidation state 3 in bracket chloride. Penta aqua chlorido chromium 3 chloride. And check this one, fourth one, same method. I am writing IUPAC name, we are following the same rules here. And see here platinum is there, platinum, and chlorine is there. We will write it as a chlorido, which is present inside the rectangular bracket. We will use a chlorido for chlorine. And see here NH2CH3, in the sense it is a methylamine, and NH3 group is there. NH3 group is written as amine, AMMINE. If it is NH2, AMINE. If it is NH3, AMMINE. And here chlorine is there, we will write chloride. And check the order. See here, first we will write A here. Amine starts with A. And see here, amine, and next what is there? Chlorido, methylamine, platinum. How many chlorines are there? Here 1, here 2 are there. Platinum 2 in bracket chloride, and we will write methylamine in bracket. Okay, please note down this one and observe this one. If amine groups are 2, then here we will write it as diamine. If it is a 3, triamine. Like that. If it is 1, okay. If it is 2, we will use di. If it is 3, we will write tri, like that. Tetra, penta, hexa, hepta. We will use all those root words here. Fifth one, what is fifth one? Write down the formula of tetraamine aqua chlorido cobalt 3 chloride. Okay, in third one and fourth one, we wrote IUPAC name. Here from IUPAC name, we are going to write the complex. See here, tetraamine. In the sense, amine is NH3. Tetraamine 4. Aqua H2O. Chlorido Cl. Cobalt 3. CO. Chloride Cl. See here, cobalt 3 chloride in the sense, it is CO plus 3. Here amine group and aqua group both are neutral, and here chlorido is there, and remaining 2 are chlorides present outside. Okay, you try to understand this one. Cobalt 3 in the sense chlorido, chloride. Chlorido means 1, chloride in the sense the number depends on the remaining part of the oxidation number. It is plus 3, 1 is already there inside the complex, and see here remaining 2 are Cl2 present outside the complex. We will arrange these things inside the complex. We will write central metal ion on left side. Next, chlorido NH3 4 times, water molecule is there. We will close the complex with rectangular bracket, and we will write Cl2 outside the bracket. Okay, please note down. I hope you understood how to write the complex structure from IUPAC name. And please note down. And next one is sixth one. See here, sixth one is for the complex FeCN6-3. Write the hybridization type, magnetic character, and spin nature of the complex. And see here, to write the hybridization type, first we have to write the electronic configuration of iron here. See here, the associated cation is ferric ion. First we will write iron 26, its configuration with respect to argon is 3d6 4s2. By losing these two electrons and one of the electron from this one, and ferric ion, it has an electronic configuration of argon 3d5. See here, in ground state it has electronic configuration 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. 5 are there, 1 2 3 4 5. But see here, in presence of a strong ligand, here cyanide is a strong ligand. Cyanide is a strong ligand. In presence of strong ligand, the d orbital splits into T2g and Eg orbitals. T2g and Eg orbitals. And here, in presence of strong ligands, delta naught is greater than P. Here, what is this delta? See here, this is nothing but crystal field splitting energy. Crystal field splitting energy is greater than pairing energy. See here, in presence of strong ligand, it splits into T2g and Eg. T2g 3 orbitals are there and Eg 2 are there. And see here crystal field splitting energy CFSE is greater than pairing energy. That's why the pairing will start here itself, 1 2 3 4 5. Pairing starts here itself. It will not reach here. Okay, five electrons are not going to fill in 5 orbitals. The pairing will start there itself, because cyanide is a strong ligand. In presence of strong ligand, crystal field splitting energy is greater than pairing energy. And see here 2 are empty, here 2 are empty, and here 6 cyanides are there. 6 cyanides are there. If we consider 3D, these are 3D. And 4s 4p, and T2g 1 2 3 4 5 are there, and 2 orbitals are free. And see here 6 cyanides. 6 cyanides need 6 free orbitals, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, see here 1 s orbital is participating, 3 p orbitals are participating, and 2 d orbitals are participating. sp3d2. sp3d2 in the sense it is octahedral. Hybridization type is octahedral. The molecule is sp3d2 hybridization in the sense it is octahedral structure. Octahedral structure. And see here there is one unpaired electron. One unpaired electron is present. Presence of unpaired electron gives paramagnetic nature. One unpaired electron is present. One unpaired electron is present in central metal atom. Central metal atom, or you can say ion, no problem, anything will be fine. Okay, and see here presence of unpaired electron gives paramagnetic nature. It gives paramagnetic nature. Paramagnetic nature. If all are paired ones, diamagnetic nature. If any unpaired electrons are there, paramagnetic in nature. And see here, 3d orbitals are participating, and 4s 4p means inner shells also participating. Inner shell 3d, third shell 3d orbitals also participating. That's why it is inner complex, inner octahedral complex, inner octahedral complex. As it is inner octahedral complex, the spin of the complex is low spin. Hence it has a low spin. Reason, it is inner octahedral complex. Low spin. Okay. Hybridization type is sp3d2 hybridization, magnetic nature, paramagnetic nature, and spin of the nature low spin due to inner octahedral complex. Okay, please note down these things and we will continue with next question. Seventh one, write the state of hybridization, shape, IUPAC name of the complex COF6-3. IUPAC name, we have to write IUPAC name also. First we will write hybridization. See here, to write hybridization, first we have to write electronic configuration of cobalt here. Cobalt 27 with respect to argon 3d7 4s2. See here, cobalt plus 3, cobalt plus 3. Why we are writing cobalt plus 3 here? See here, it is in cobaltate form with -3, and to neutralize that one we have cobalt plus 3 ion here. And see here, by losing 3 electrons, so 2 from here and 1 from here, then we will get argon 3d6 in the sense in ground state. We will write the configuration 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and 6 is there. This is the configuration. See here, here also in presence of ligand. What is the ligand here? Fluoride. Fluoride is a weak ligand. It is a weak ligand. Fluoride is a weak ligand. Even though it is a weak ligand, the regular d orbital splits into T2g and Az, but here one thing is there. Here pairing energy is greater than crystal field splitting energy. Okay, that's why pairing will not start at T2g. We will see T2g Eg here, T2g Eg, T2g 3 orbitals 1 2 3, and Eg 1 and 2. Total 6 are there. Total 6 electrons are there. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and see here, please note down this one and we will write the elaborate form of this one. G easy orbitals are there with 4 unpaired electrons, and we will see this one how these are going to arrange in orbitals. We will write d orbitals, 3d orbitals. What are the 3d orbitals? 3 T2g 1 2 3 and 2 Eg orbitals, and see here we will fill the electrons here 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 4s 4p. And see here how many ligands are there? 6 ligands are there. 1 2 3 4. Still we need few more. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. See here, these are 4d, these are 4d, and 6 fluorides, they required 6 orbitals. 1 2 3 4, 5, 6. See here, observe this one, how many s orbitals are participating? 1. And how many p orbitals are participating? 3 are participating. How many d are participating? 1, 2. 1, 2, d2, sp3, d2. Hybridization is sp3, d2, sp3, d2. And shape of the molecule, sp3, d2, in the sense the shape of the molecule is octahedral geometry. And next one, see this one, they are asking IUPAC name of the complex. IUPAC name, see here, cobalt, it is there in anion form, then it is cobaltate, and 6 fluorides are there. This is present inside the bracket, that's why we will write it as a fluorido. 6 are there. Hexafluorido, cobaltate 3. Hexafluorido cobaltate 3 is the IUPAC name of the given complex. And geometry, octahedral geometry, hybridization sp3d2. And see here it is what type of octahedral geometry? See here, 4th shell. 3rd shell is not participating. In this one. 4th shell is participating, means outer shell. That's why it is also called outer octahedral complex. And see here, unpaired electrons are present here. 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons are there, unpaired electrons, and that's why it is paramagnetic in nature. In this question, they are not asking. If they ask, you please answer that one as paramagnetic in nature. Please note down this one, and we will move to next one, that is 8th one. Okay, first I will write electronic configuration of cobalt here. Cobalt is 27 with respect to argon, 3d7, 4s2. See here, CO plus 2 is with respect to argon, 3d7, and see here, by losing these 2 electrons, CO plus 2 is formed. Now here question is, CO plus 2 is easily oxidized to CO plus 3 in presence of strong ligand. See here, I am directly writing it's a T2G configuration in presence of strong ligand. In presence of strong ligand, T2G, the pairing will start in T2G level itself, in presence of strong ligand. See here, how many are there? 7 electrons are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7th one will enter into EZ. And see here, there is 1 unpaired electron in EZ level. In case of CO plus 2, there is 1 unpaired electron in EZ level. By losing this 1 unpaired electron in presence of strong electric field, it is easy to form CO plus 3 ion. CO plus 3 easily forms. Okay, CO2 easily oxidized to CO plus 3 in presence of strong ligand. Reason, there is an unpaired electron in EZ level. It is easy to remove that EZ unpaired electron. Okay, please note down this one, and we will continue with next one. That is the molecular shape of nickel carbonyl 4 times is not same as that of nickel cyanide 4 times -2. We will check it. Second one, we have to compare the shape. See here, I will take only the molecules and I am removing remaining things here because we need some space. See here, first we will write the electronic configuration of nickel. Here it is carbonyl is neutral molecule. That's why here nickel is in neutral state. Nickel 28 with respect to argon 3d8 4s2. Okay, and its configuration is if you take d orbitals 1 2 3 4 5 and 4s, take 4p also. See here 3d 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Next in 4s how many electrons are there? 2 electrons are there, and next one is 4p. And see here carbonyl is a strong ligand, that's why these 2 electrons will join these two electrons of 3d and they will form paired electrons, and as a result what will happen here? 1 2 3 4 5, and here 4s is vacant and 4p is vacant. Here how many ligands are there? 4 are there. It requires 4 vacant orbitals. 1 2 3 4, 1s 3p, sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization in the sense, what is the shape of the molecule? Tetrahedral shape, tetrahedral geometry, or you can write tetrahedral shape. sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral shape. Now come to this one. Here it has -2 charge, that's why it is Na+2 in the sense with respect to argon 3d8 it lost 4s2 electrons, and write its configuration 1 2 3 4 5. Next one 4s, 4p, 4d, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and see here if you are taking 3d, 8 electrons are there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, and see here cyanide also a strong ligand. Cyanide is also strong ligand. Then it will move here. Okay, and then what will happen? Here it will be vacant. 1 2 3 4 5. And next 4s, 4p. Here total 4 are there. Then what will happen? One, two, 3, 4. No need to write D also. Okay, not required. Here 1D is participating, 1S is participating, 2P are participating. Means it is nothing but sp2d. sp2d. sp2d hybridization in the sense sp2d hybridization, it is a square planar shape. What is the shape of molecule when it is sp2d square planar? See here 4 ligands, here 4 ligands, 4 are strong ones, but shapes are different. And hope you understood clearly. sp3 is a tetrahedral shape and sp2d is square planar shape. Okay, please note down this one and we will move to next one. Okay, here ninth one is writing IUPAC names. Write the IUPAC name of the following. Here three different coordination compounds are there, three complexes, and we will check first one. See here, what are the things present here? Cobalt is there, and amine groups are there. How many are there? 6 are there. Then it is hexamine, and chloride is there. How many chlorides are there? 3 are there. Then cobalt becomes cobalt 3. Okay, if we write its name in order, we will get hexamine, cobalt 3 chloride. Okay, please note down this one and we will move to next one. Second one is, it is ion. Nickel is there. Nickel is a part of anion, then we will write it as nickelate, minus 2 in the sense it is in bracket, we will get 2, nickelate 2, and it is 4 chlorines are there, they are present inside the bracket. Tetrachlorido, and we will rearrange this one. Tetrachlorido nickelate 2, tetrachlorido nickelate 2 ion, it is ion. Tetrachlorido nickelate 2 ion. Third one, potassium is there. Potassium is cation here. Potassium and iron is part of anion because potassium is a strong electropositive, or you can say more electropositive. And see here, directly I am writing it is potassium, 6 cyanide groups are there. Hexacyanido or cyanido, anything will be fine. Hexacyanido ferrate. Here 3 potassium is there, that's why I am writing 3 in bracket, ferrate 3. Potassium hexacyanido ferrate. Please note down this one and we will move to next one is 10th one, last one. Okay, please. 10th one, see here, what is meant by CFSE? What is the full form of CFSE? Crystal field splitting energy. On the basis of CFT, what is CFT here? Crystal field theory. On the basis of crystal field theory, write the electronic configuration of D4 in terms of T2G and EG in an octahedral when delta naught is greater than P and delta naught is less than P. And see here we have to highlight a few things. What is CFSE? Electronic configuration of D4 in terms of T2G and EG in octahedral complex, and conditions are when delta naught is greater than P and delta naught less than P. These are the important keywords in the answer. We will see. First we will check this one, crystal field splitting energy. See here, what is crystal field splitting energy? See here, d orbitals are there. D orbitals. In presence of ligands, they splits into d orbitals. We call it as splitted d orbitals. d orbitals. Okay, we are giving the name T2g and EG for these things, T2g orbitals and EG orbitals. Here the difference in the energy of splitted d orbitals means the difference in the energy of T2g orbital and EG orbital is called crystal field splitting energy. Crystal field splitting energy. This delta naught is nothing but crystal field splitting energy. Crystal field splitting energy is the difference between the energy of splitted d orbitals, that is difference in the energy of T2g and EG orbitals. Next one, what they are asking, on the basis of crystal field theory, write the electronic configuration of D4. D4 means there are 4 electrons in D shell. T2g EG, we will write T2g EG. And see here, T2g 2 are there, EG 3 are there. Here they given 2 conditions. Crystal field splitting energy is greater than pairing energy. Here P stands for pairing energy. P stands for pairing energy. Crystal field energy is greater than pairing energy. First we will take this condition. Crystal field energy greater than pairing energy in the sense, pairing will start in T2g itself. 1, 2, 3 and 4, because D4, 4 electrons are there now. See here, if crystal field splitting energy is greater than pairing energy, then pairing will start at T2g level itself. If the condition is pairing energy is greater than crystal field splitting energy, then 4th electron will enter into EG orbital. Okay, try to understand the situation here. When it is like this, means CFSE is greater than pairing energy, situation is different. When CFSE is less than pairing energy, then it is different. Please note down this one, it is easy to write, and based on these things we can find out number of unpaired electrons, and in terms of unpaired electrons we can say whether it is paramagnetic or not. If it is paramagnetic, what is the magnetic moment? Okay, we can calculate magnetic moment also based on number of unpaired electrons. Okay, please note down all these things. And today we discussed important questions from coordination compounds, and in next class we will discuss important questions from D and F block elements. That is also important one. Okay, and please subscribe to our channel, don't forget it, and please like it, share it. Thank you all of you. See you in next class with D and F block elements. Okay, until then.